From the very beginning, America has been a story written by people from all over the world. It's a nation built on a promise, a beacon of hope for those seeking a new start. We often hear the phrase, a nation of immigrants, but what does that truly mean? How has this constant flow of people, cultures, and ideas shaped the United States into the country it is today? Join us as we journey through time to explore the epic story of immigration in America. Our story begins long before the United States was even a concept. The first immigrants arrived thousands of years ago, crossing the Bering Strait and populating the continents. But the modern story of American immigration kicks off in the 17th century with the arrival of European colonists. English settlers established Jamestown and Plymouth, seeking economic opportunity and religious freedom. They were soon followed by the Dutch in New York, the Swedes in Delaware, and Germans and Scots-Irish, who pushed into the Appalachian backcountry. These early waves laid the groundwork, establishing the cultural and linguistic foundations of the new colonies. Life was tough, a constant struggle for survival, but it was also a chance to build something new, free from the old constraints of European society. As the 18th century rolled on, the flow continued. The promise of land and liberty drew people from across Western Europe. This period also saw one of the darkest chapters in immigration history, the forced migration of millions of Africans through the transatlantic slave trade. This was not a journey of hope, but one of brutal coercion, and its legacy is a profound and complex part of the American story that we are still grappling with today. These early groups, both voluntary and forced, created a complex colonial society, a patchwork of languages, religions, and traditions, all wrestling for a place in this new world. The 19th century brought about an explosion in immigration unlike anything seen before. The first major wave came from Northern and Western Europe, particularly Ireland and Germany. In the 1840s, the Great Famine in Ireland pushed over 1 million people across the Atlantic, desperate to escape starvation. They arrived with very little and faced immense hardship and discrimination, often crammed into crowded tenements in cities like Boston and New York. At the same time, Germans flocked to America, seeking to escape political unrest and economic hardship. Many settled in the Midwest, creating a German belt and transforming the agricultural landscape. They brought with them traditions like the Christmas tree and kindergarten, things we now consider quintessentially American. As the century progressed, the source of immigration shifted dramatically. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, the new immigrants were arriving from Southern and Eastern Europe. Italians, Poles, Russians, and Jews fleeing persecution. They poured through Ellis Island in New York Harbor, the iconic gateway to America. For millions, the first glimpse of the Statue of Liberty symbolized a new beginning. These immigrants fueled America's Industrial Revolution, working in factories, mines, and on the railroads. They built cities, laid track, and powered the nation's rapid economic growth. They also faced intense suspicion and prejudice. Nativist movements grew, fearing that these new arrivals with their different languages, religions, and customs would undermine American society. This tension led to the first major restrictions on immigration, such as the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, a shameful mark on the nation's history, and later, the national origins quotas of the 1920s, which severely limited immigration from non-Western European countries. The mid-20th century saw a lull in immigration due to these restrictive laws. The Great Depression, and 2 world wars, but the landscape changed dramatically with the passage of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. This landmark legislation abolished the old quota system and prioritized family reunification and skilled labor. It opened the doors to people from all over the world, and the face of America began to change once again. Instead of coming primarily from Europe, the new wave of immigrants hailed from Latin America, Asia, and Africa. They came as refugees fleeing conflict, as students seeking education, as professionals looking for new opportunities, and as families hoping to build a better life. This post-1965 wave has been the largest in American history, profoundly reshaping the nation's demographics and culture. So, what is the legacy of these centuries of migration? Look around. It's in the food we eat, the music we listen to, and the very words we speak. Can you imagine American cuisine without pizza from Italy, tacos from Mexico, or stir-fry from China? These dishes were brought here by immigrants and have been adopted and adapted, becoming staples of the American diet. Think about the music that defines America. Jazz, born in the African-American communities of New Orleans, is a fusion of African rhythms and European harmonies. Rock and roll, blues, hip-hop all have deep roots in the immigrant experience and the cultural blending that followed. Our language itself is a living testament to this history, enriched with words from Spanish, Yiddish, German, and countless other tongues. From kindergarten to schmuck, from patio to feng shui, these words are woven into the fabric of American English. The arts, literature, and cinema have been continuously energized by immigrant voices, offering new perspectives and telling stories that challenge and expand our understanding of what it means to be American. The economic and social impact is just as profound. Immigrants are entrepreneurs, innovators, and workers who fill critical roles in our economy, from agriculture and construction to technology and medicine. Studies have consistently shown that immigrants start businesses at a higher rate than native-born citizens. Think of companies like Google, Tesla, or Pfizer, all co-founded by immigrants. They bring new skills, new ideas, and a powerful drive to succeed. Socially, they've enriched our communities, creating vibrant, multicultural neighborhoods in cities and suburbs alike. They challenge us to be more open, more tolerant, and more aware of the world beyond our borders. Of course, this process isn't always smooth. It involves challenges of integration, debates over resources, and the ongoing struggle against prejudice. But the dynamic energy that immigrants bring has been a key ingredient in America's success. So, when we say America is a nation of immigrants, it's not just a historical footnote. It is the core of our national identity. Each wave of newcomers has added a new layer to the American story, enriching and complicating it, pushing it in new directions. From the first colonists seeking religious freedom to the tech entrepreneur arriving today, the journey has always been about the pursuit of a dream. The story of America is the story of the world, a continuous experiment in building a unified nation out of diverse peoples. It's a story of struggle, sacrifice, and incredible resilience. And it's a story that is still being written, every single day, by every new person who chooses to call this country home. The ongoing debate about immigration shows just how central this issue remains to our national conversation. It forces us to ask fundamental questions. Who are we? What do we stand for? And what kind of nation do we want to be? The answers will define the next chapter in the epic story of America. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this exploration of American history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. We'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you have a family immigration story you'd like to share? Let's continue the conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.